So, hey, let's be real here. If you are anywhere in the Montreal Canadiens or Ottawa Senators circles, you know that Montreal Canadiens fans and some of even the Montreal Canadiens players are not fans of Tim Stützle. And honestly, after that little game yesterday in Newfoundland, preseason game, where, hey, in the French broadcast on the TV Sport, they said c'était un match pour hommes. So it was a man's game out there. There was a lot of chirping, a lot of hitting, some fights. We talked about xhekaj versus Anderson. Or not Anderson, what am I saying? Xhekaj versus Watson. And Anderson with that hit on Tim Stützle. Like, it was something out there, eh? It didn't feel like a preseason game. It felt like a pretty testy, pretty heated battle. This is a rivalry I would love to see get renewed. I mean, we saw these guys in the early to mid 2010s have a few playoff series against each other, and it was heated up. Everybody remembers the Rafael Diaz, the Lars Eller situation. You know what I'm talking about, where he threw the suicide pass up the middle and Lars Eller just got absolutely laid out, and there was the headline in the paper with Lars Eller's face in a pool of blood. So it was just, there was some really heated stuff with this rivalry. Brendan Prust calling the coach, I forget his name, Paul McLean I think it was, for the Sens, calling him a bug-eyed fat walrus or whatever. Like, there were some good moments, Montreal, Ottawa, in the early 2010s, mid 2010s. Get your popcorn out at that time. I loved those games in the playoffs. But hey, it's getting renewed a little bit. Brady Tkachuk was getting into it. Tim Stützle, Watson, like we saw. xhekaj seems to fight a new Ottawa Senator every week, seriously. But today we want to focus on Tim Stützle because we remember last year Brendan Gallagher's comments. This is kind of what started it all, was when Gallagher came out and had some really interesting comments to say about Stützle and his possible diving or flopping. Here's exactly what Gallagher said. He said, "When I was 10 years old, our coach had a rule. If you lay on the ice and the trainers or if the coach had to come on the ice to get you, you're too hurt to play minimum 3 shifts. He's a great player. I've played against him 2-3 years now. He's more than half the games we've played against him. He's laid on the ice and is right back out there next shift. He lays on the ice, he acts like he's hurt, he sells the call, he's on the ice the same power play. There's kids watching. We're role models. And if I was his teammate of his, I'd tell him to smarten up. It's just not a good look. Very talented player, very good player. He needs to stop laying on the ice. It's embarrassing." Man, some pointed words from Gallagher. And if you were watching the game last night, I'm going to try to stay somewhat impartial here, but there were a couple of moments where Stützle, I'll be real, like the Anderson hit on him, that one, I don't think he dove or anything, but there was a few occasions there where it was a little bit, it seemed a little bit dramatic from number 18 in white. That's all I'll say on it for this case. And hey, let me say that I love Tim Stützle, okay? I think he's one of the best young, exciting players coming up in the league. I love to see another German star. I hope he rides shotgun in international play with Leon Draisaitl for many, many years. And man, does he look like he's breaking out after signing that big contract. But sometimes, I mean, I noticed it yesterday where it was like, Tim, what are you doing, man? You're not like shaking this reputation. You're not making it look any better for yourself. And more Habs fans, like, he's gotten booed a few times because of it. Like, it does seem like he's diving a couple of times. And hey, look, again, if he's trying to draw calls, he's trying to draw calls. A ton of people in the NHL, they do that, and in any league of hockey. But it gets to some points where it looks a little bad on him. I'll be real on the kid. Like, I think, and even if they are real legit penalties, which there could be, like, at some point the kid's got to realize, okay, my reputation is starting to become that I'm a flopper, I'm a diver here. I got to stand on my feet a bit more to kind of shake that reputation and be a bit stronger on my skates, just so I don't have that reputation, because nobody wants a reputation in the NHL as a diver. That's like one of the worst reps you can have, honestly, in the show. But Habs fans yesterday, and the fact that he always seems to come to play against Montreal. Like, last year he had a couple of games where he lit them up. Yesterday he had a goal and 2 assists, a beauty he scored, and he was flying all night. That also probably plays into it for the Montreal Canadiens fans and the players at that. But hey, with DJ Smith's comments saying that he didn't like that the Habs were targeting some of the Sens players, Man, is this going to be an interesting game. The next one, the Montreal Canadiens play against the Sens. And this is what I'm saying, that this is going to be a heck of a rivalry now. And look, it's pretty clear that the Sens are most likely going to be better than the Habs this season. But I still think this could make for some must-watch, amazing, hopefully Hockey Night in Canada, primetime Saturday hockey here. I would love to see that. From the Montreal Canadiens and the Ottawa Senators. But I just wanted to give you guys a little refresher and reminder, and honestly, a new chapter in the story about why Habs fans seem to hate Tim Stützle. Like, he's getting right up there. The stuff I was seeing on Twitter and on Reddit, a ton of people are really unhappy with this guy in Habs land. And I want to know what you guys think about him. What do you think about Tim Stützle? I mean, for me, I still like the kid, and you guys know that I like the Canadian teams, but I just like the kid because I like dynamic, young, exciting players. But I do admit that if I was him, I would stay on my skates a bit stronger. If I did feel like I was trying to sell calls a few times, just to kind of shake that reputation. That's all I'll say on it. I don't want to get too spicy with it, but hey, is that spicy. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.